Imagine waking up 10 years from now. Your life looks successful, you've checked all the boxes, but deep down, you still don't feel like something's quite right. You know that you never really lived your life. You just checked all the boxes. You lived a version that made everybody else comfortable, and that is the danger of inauthenticity. It doesn't usually ruin your life or steal your joy overnight. It usually happens slowly, one decision and one compromise at a time. You say things like, I'll do what I really want later. And before you know it, you're living the life that looks good on paper, but doesn't feel authentic to you. So today, we're talking about authenticity, because that is one of the greatest acts of self-respect that you can ever give to yourself. Welcome to the Inner Launch. This is the podcast that breaks down how you know that you're made for more, and we start creating it from the inside out. I'm your host, Christina Volkovich, and today we're talking about what it means to live authentically in alignment with who you are and why so many people don't believe that they can. So let's start at the beginning. Think about it. When we were younger, we were always told to be polite, be good, sit still. We were always told to do something that would make somebody else happy, because we weren't supposed to disappoint anybody else. We were always meant to keep somebody else comfortable. And that's exactly it. We were rewarded for keeping other people comfortable, for fitting in. We literally got rewards for being that version. But oftentimes what makes everybody else happy isn't always what's going to make us happy. I don't believe people are unhappy because they don't have enough. I think many people are unhappy because they built a life that sounded like what they should do, rather than what actually felt authentic to them. So maybe you chose a career that sounded impressive. Maybe you stayed in a relationship because the thought of leaving was terrifying. Maybe you kept saying yes because saying no felt selfish. And from the outside, everything looks fine, but on the inside, something feels a little bit off. That feeling is not always a sign that your life is falling apart. Sometimes it's your authentic self trying to get your attention. It's saying, "This isn't me anymore." People often misunderstand authenticity. Authenticity isn't impulsive. It isn't refusing feedback. It isn't saying, "This is just who I am." Authenticity is alignment. It's making decisions that actually match your values instead of your fears. It's speaking honestly when pretending would be so much easier. It's choosing the life that fits you instead of impressing everybody else. The question isn't what would make me look successful. It's what would truly make my life feel meaningful. And those answers are rarely the same. Everyone wants confidence, but confidence isn't something that you magically wake up with. Confidence is built through having the evidence of trusting yourself. It's repeatedly showing up for yourself, even though it may make others feel uncomfortable. It's knowing that you won't abandon yourself, you will keep your boundaries, and every honest conversation that you have, every decision that's true to who you are, every time you stop asking for permission, you build another piece of evidence that says, "I can trust myself." That is exactly where real confidence comes from trusting yourself. Not from applause from other people because you made them happy, but through trusting yourself and going after what you actually want. So for a long time, I had a career where I started making jewelry when I was 14. I was in the jewelry industry for about 19 years, and it was lovely. But I got to a point where I was no longer feeling fulfilled in what I had chosen. And the idea of just deciding, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore was kind of scary because I knew that I was going to let somebody down. Specifically my mother. I knew I was going to let her down because she was so proud of the career that I built, and it was a great career. But at the end of the day, it wasn't making me happy. It wasn't making me feel aligned anymore. And it wasn't making me feel like I was excited to wake up to it. I felt like I was just going through the motions on autopilot, just waking up every day, going to work, doing all the things, getting a paycheck, and coming home and feeling like, okay, well, there's another day, and I guess I just gotta do it again tomorrow. And I wasn't truly excited about my life. And so that's why I'm here telling you that it is so important to do things that you are passionate about and that feel aligned to you, because yes, you are going to disappoint somebody. That's the nature of life. But wouldn't you rather get to the end of your life saying, I feel so good about myself, I feel so good about the life that I've created, rather than, wow, I wish that I lived for myself rather than living to make everybody else happy. I am so much happier with what I'm doing now, and I have created a life that I truly love. And yes, I don't have a lot of money. I don't need a lot of money. That is what life has taught me. It's that I'm going after the things that I truly value. So if I value happiness, if I value alignment, if I value feeling like I have a purpose, I'm going after it. Because that is what makes me feel like I'm living in alignment with myself. So as scary as it may be, I want to challenge you to actually think about what you want. Not what others may want for you, not what others may say when you decide that you want the things that you want, what you actually want for you. So I want you to think about, if nobody is around to judge you, what would you choose? What decisions would you make? If no one's opinion mattered, what would you start? What would you stop? Who would you spend time with? What would your mornings look like? What career would you choose? How would you define a successful life? Because those answers to these questions are likely going to tell you more about yourself than the life that you are currently living. At the end of life, no one else has to live with your choices. Only you do. You can spend decades building a life that earns everybody else's approval, or you can build one that you actually feel excited to wake up to, full of alignment and purpose. The beautiful thing about authenticity is it doesn't require you to reinvent yourself. It just requires you to listen, to stop performing, to stop shrinking, and to stop chasing somebody else's version of success. And to trust that that version that you are trying so hard to become might simply be the person that you've been underneath all of it. This is your reminder that you don't need to have everything figured out. Change does not come from rushing it. It comes from paying attention and choosing yourself, even in the small ways. If you know somebody that really needs to hear this today, please subscribe and send this to a friend who may need to hear it today. This has been another episode of The Inner Launch. I'm your host, Christina Volkovich, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.